Hey everyone, this is Matt, and in today's video we have another deck matchup for you today. This time we have Eldlich against Invoked. I don't know if it's Invoked DP, I don't know if it's Invoked Adventure, it doesn't matter, it's Invoked. Invoked is all the same. They normal summon Aleister, they suck. Like, it doesn't matter what else is in their deck. Maybe they have DP, maybe they don't, maybe they have Halq, Barone, Aurora, maybe they don't. It doesn't matter, it's Invoked. Alright, so, maybe I'll change the name of this deck later, but for now it's just Invoked. Alright, so yeah, this is a best of three, and I do lose the rock paper scissors here. Once again, I'm on Dueling Book, the worst platform imaginable for Yu-Gi-Oh online. But alas, yeah, hope you enjoy this because it's always fun to see people who unironically enjoy normal summoning Aleister lose like super hard. So yeah, this is a clean 2-0 sweep. So let's get into it. So I lose the rock paper scissors, and he's gonna make me go second because of course he is. All right. Alright, so I open up a fairly strong opening. Gozen Match is always good in the current meta. A D-Barrier, great. Stops synchro plays, stops fusion plays, stops everything. Trap Trick, always good. One piece of my Eldlich engine, the Conquistador. And of course, the masterpiece, the masterful, the Witch's Strike. You love to see it. I swear, every time I see this card in my opening hand, I just get like this big smile on my face. Because if I can successfully resolve this card, I just instantly win the game. Like, straight up. Alright, so he's going to open up Terraforming. Guess what he's going to search? Oh, look, Magical Meltdown. Magical Meltdown's going to grab Aleister. Aleister's going to normal summon, grab the Invocation. Link into Almirage, link into Secure Guard. I love how he just sends Almirage directly from the extra deck to the graveyard. Like, he knows I'm not going to interrupt or do anything. I mean, I'm not, but it's just funny. Yep, and he's going to go ahead and set up the Mechaba. Next, we have... Yep, the recycle. Oh, the Nadir Servant. So he has his 2-card starter. So the only card Invoke players need to start is Aleister, but if you also have the Nadir Servant, you can theoretically set up an okay board. Or like a better than just Mechaba board. Because Mechaba by itself, let's be honest, not that impressive. It's a single Omni Negate, but the card itself has no protection. And to Omni Negate, you have to have the right card type in your hand. So I have traps. I'm a trap deck. He doesn't know that yet because this is game one. So yeah, he's probably not gonna hold any trap cards in his hand to negate anyway. So in reality, this is just a 2500 beater. Like no other. It's not like that's it. That's all it is, right? All right. So he's gonna summon the Maximus. Oh, I love when invoked players summon Maximus, and here's why. So, and here's a good rule of thumb for all of you. If you're playing a deck and you have extra deck slots for whatever reason, right? You don't know what to do with or whatever. I highly recommend you put in your extra deck double Entis. Uh, because for games like these where the opponent tries to Maximus and force you to send 2 of your extra deck to the graveyard, right? I mean, some people prefer to do the Cyber Dragon Nova with Mechaba. So if your opponent forces you to send Cyber Dragon Nova to the graveyard via card effect, so like in the case of Maximus, you send Nova, and then Nova's graveyard effect triggers, and you can summon your own Mechaba, right? But let's be real, the double Entis is more hilarious. So check this out. So he's gonna send 2 cards. He sends Omega. So he sends Omega and the Titanic Clad. Not sure why Omega, but whatever. I send the double Entis. Alright, so check this out. So here's how you resolve this. So you want to do, you get to chain block because of the trigger effect. So you want to do chain link 1 Mechaba, chain link, like, so you have 2 entities, and they're not once per turn, right? So chain link 1 target Mechaba, chain link 2 target Maximus, right? And so that means Mechaba cannot protect itself from being destroyed. So either they waste a card protecting Maximus from being destroyed, which is a complete waste of a card, or they just let both be destroyed. So this guy was not that dumb, and he actually let both be destroyed. But I've played other Invoke players where they actually try to negate the Entis and be like, all right, cool, your Mechaba's still dead. Like, who cares, right? So yeah, I love doing this. It's just like an Invoke player's worst nightmare is when their opponent has the double Entis. Alright, so he's going to set a bunch, and he actually uses Titaniclad to grab the, what's it called? The Fleur de Lis, right? Unfortunately for him, I don't actually have extra deck monsters, so that Fleur de Lis is never going to be summoned. Not on my watch. And by that I mean, it might be summoned. So, let's see what happens next. So I'm gonna set 5. So I held everything but Witch's Strike. Why did I hold everything but Witch's Strike? So I actually think I can prevent him from getting a Mechaba. So Witch's Strike is only good if they have an Omni Negate. So they don't have an Omni Negate without Mechaba, and one Mechaba's gone. Most Invoked players have 2 Mechabas, but I have a Gozen Match, I have a Deer Barrier. There's like a 0% chance he's going to get to another Mechaba, right? Because first of all, he has an Aleister in hand, right? Aleister in hand, and a Fleur-de-Lis in hand, right? So if I open, draw phase, and immediately Gozen Match, he cannot normal summon Aleister because this is a dark monster, and he'll be locked into light monsters, right? Which means he's not going to be able to search Invocation, so he can't actually summon Mechaba. So there's no point in that. And if he does just top deck Invocation and then plays Invocation, because Aleister's in hand, Aleister won't get banished. It'll actually go to the graveyard. So if you, I don't know if you knew that, but like if Aleister gets invoked, like, invocationed in the hand, it goes to the graveyard, not the banish pile, which is actually worse for the engine. But if he does play Invocation, I'm just going to chain D-Barrier and call no fusions, right? So yeah, this guy's completely screwed. There's no point for me to play Witch's Strike. If, for some miracle, he does get his Mecha out in the future, I have Witch's Strike that I can set at that point. But for now, I'm just going to play these 5 cards because, you know, I have the Elixir into Conk Pop. I have a Trap Trick for anything I need, D-Barrier, and the Gozen Match. So, yeah, this is perfectly fine. There's no need to set Witch's Strike right now. So if I didn't have a way to clear his Mecha, but yeah, I would have set his first Mecha. Yeah, I would have set Witch's Strike. All right, so on draw phase, I'm going to go ahead and Gozen Match. He's going to go into battle phase. I'm going to summon the Eldlich. Alright, so this set monster is very clearly Aleister the Invoker, right? Because I knew his hand, he had an Aleister, he had a Fleur-de-Lis, and he'd top deck a card. He wouldn't set, like, there's no other card he would really play here, right? So he has to set it. For those of you who don't know, when Aleister gets flipped face up, either from a flip summon or from being attacked, it does search Invocation. So I guess that's what he's hoping for, that, like, I'll attack it and like flip it face up. Yeah, so I'm aware. I'm gonna go ahead and attack this. So he actually attempts to pop my Eldlich with Punishment, right? Okay, that's fine. So he's gonna pop Gozen Match. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go to main phase 2. I'm gonna set Conk. So I already have a Conk here, and I'm gonna use the Conk to revive my Eldlich. The reason I want this is because I want a 3500 body on the board. I don't want Eldlich in the graveyard because if he uses Invocation, he might be able to fuse away my Eldlich right into his Mechaba, and it allows me to, you know, because I send Kong, I can immediately grab another Elixir. So yeah, I'm in a good spot here. I have Kong face down. I have D-Barrier. Like, there's nothing. He's not actually going to stop me. But oh, by the way, since he just did Dogmatika Punishment, he locked himself out of his own extra deck. So he's not actually going to be able to like summon anything from the extra deck anyway, right? So he's just going to like do nothing, basically. Alright. Yeah, so I grab the Huaquero and I grab the Elixir. So I have Conk, Huaquero, and Elixir. So, by the way, in general, you do not want to use Huaquero to banish their Aleister. You want to use Huaquero to banish their Invocation. So if Invocation ever does go to the graveyard, right, you want to banish that because you don't want them to recycle it. And once the Invocation is banished, they have no way of getting it back. If you banish their Aleister, they can use that Invocation to get it back, right? So you definitely want to hold Huaquero to banish their Invocation. Another reason I didn't want Eldlich in the graveyard is because I knew he sent Omega, and Omega can shuffle Eldlich back into my deck, right? I didn't want him to do that. So that's another reason I brought back my Eldlich immediately. So, alright. Let's go for it. So, he's actually going to go to end phase instead of doing... I don't know why he didn't go into defense mode. That was kind of weird. So I'm going to get my second Eldlich. Attack. Bam. Oh, so he's going to Droplet. Alright. So he uses Droplet with... on my Eldlich to cut its attack in half, right? Dude... I'll never understand like people who actually use Droplet like rush recklessly like this. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna your Ecclesia's gonna die, and I'm just gonna bring back my Eldlich anyway. Like, what's the point of that Droplet, right? You're better off holding it for something else. But whatever. I mean, people who play Droplet usually don't know how to use it, so that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack this Aleister, right? Because I actually want him to get his Invocation, and I'll show you why. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to grab a card from Elixir, and I'm going to immediately send it to the graveyard to summon Eldlich back. Remember, I don't want him fusing my Eldlich, nor bouncing it back via Omega, right? He has the ability to do both, right? Alright. Hey guys, you'll never guess what he's going to do on his turn. Oh look, he activates Invocation, and I immediately chain D-Barrier and call Fusions. Oh man. And then he's gonna try to Schism. By the way, I knew he had Schism because turn 1 he searched it out of Alkaline. And guess what? I have the Conch, which I've been holding since turn 1, knowing he had Schism, by the way. I forgot to mention this earlier, but yeah. This whole time I had Conch, I could have used it to pop Ecclesia, no need. I was waiting on the Schism. And yeah, here it is. Get fucked. Yep. So at this point, I can use Huaquero to banish Invocation, but his Aleister is not really banished right now, so I don't really need to. Plus, I'm thinking maybe I should hold Huaquero to banish his Omega, because Omega is kind of annoying. But yeah, so I'm just holding, right? There's no need to blow all my load so soon. So, alright, let's see what happens. So he goes for the Prosperity. E-Telly. So he grabs E-Telly. So this is something that I'm not used to seeing. I'm not used to seeing Invoked players playing the Ghost Ogre package with the... And look what he's going to go into. So he goes into Crystron Halq Fibrax, which is unexpected. So now I'm thinking, wait, is this an access code play, right? So for those of you who don't know, Crystron Halq Fibrax is a 2-card access code because you can link climb into Selene and then link climb in access code. So that's what I was thinking was happening here. But no, he actually goes ahead and grabs the Despot 001 from the deck, right? So he doesn't actually give me a chance to respond. So I tell him, hey, hold on. You don't get to go to Aurora Dawn. I'm like, wait. He literally like instantly like did his combo without giving me a chance to respond. So yeah, so I'm gonna be like, yeah, we're not gonna have that. So I'm gonna use Trap Trick, and I'm gonna grab Punishment, and immediately use Punishment to take out Halq and Despot. Boom. So now he no longer has Halq. So by the way, he has 4 cards left in his extra deck. One is likely a Mechaba. I'm guessing one is a Construct. The other 2 probably Verde and DP. Maybe, I don't know, right? But I doubt he has another Halq. So this entire line of Halq Fibrax play is just gone, right? So he's gonna go ahead and uh, so he uses Maximus. Well, he uses Omega. Sorry, to basically send Maximus back into the deck, which is kind of weird. And then he uses Ecclesia to immediately search Maximus. I think the only reason he does this is because he wants a 3k defense body here. But yeah, so. Oh yeah, so then he puts Omega back. So I send Wind Pegasus and Omega because my 3 instances are all used. Uh, and he's gonna send. What is he gonna send? So he's gonna send Aurorodon, which is now useless, and then he's gonna send his Omega back. So his Omega is gonna be able to be used again. But yeah, so his Aurorodon's dead, so you got rid of that. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and attack this, and I'm gonna set these 2 cards. So I can't really get over the Maximus because it's 3k defense. Normally I would like Link Summon, right, and then like revive Eldlich at 35, but I'm locked by Dogmatika Punishment. I cannot go to max. But that doesn't matter. I have Conch now. I have a bunch of stuff. Like, he's not going to win the game. And I'm actually going to use Omega to bounce his Omega back into the extra deck because I don't want him doing any more shenanigans like that. So he used Omega previously to recycle his Maximus. I'm just going to get rid of his Omega so he doesn't do anything else with it. So yeah, Omega bouncing Omega. So on end phase, I'm going to go ahead and conk this. And I'm going to go set Eldlich. Alright, so one mistake that I made was I forgot that he had Fleur de Lis in hand, or I kind of like ignored it. So I actually go into an Xyz play here, because I don't know what his face down is. And so I'm going to make Constellar Pallades and bounce his face down, right? I'm going to attempt to attack, but then he says, end of main phase, he summons Fleur de Lis, right? So I did forget that this Fleur de Lis was in his hand, right? So anyway, I'm going to summon Lina using my Constellar and Eldlich. Lina is going to go ahead and grab his Mechaba. Link, climb into Draco Masters of the Tenny. And then I'm going to revive Eldlich at 35. Link into Access Code. Access Code is going to get rid of Fleur de Lis, and I'm going to attack. So at this point, he uses... So that set card was an Imperm that I bounced back. So he's going to use it to make Access Code 2300 and Eldlich 35. So he's at 14... so he's going to be at 1200, but I still have this Huaquero that I've been saving this whole game. So I'm going to go ahead and finish him off. So, yeah, that was I don't know, a hilarious game. Could I have beaten him better? Probably. Like, maybe I was foolish to forget about his Fleur de Lis. Maybe I should have just like bounced his Imperm and then just like attacked with, I had two Eldliches, I had I had all my Golden Land monsters. I had 5 monsters. I probably could have just finished them off, but that's okay. All right, so into game 2, I side in. I take out Gozen Match because I feel like Gozen Match going sec is not, it's not optimal. I mean, obviously it stopped him from doing that one play, but still not optimal because, he can play around and just deal with light monsters. So I took out Gozen Matches. I took out my Lord of Heavenly Prisons. I put in Heavy Storm Dusters. I kept my Witch's Strike. I put in Lava Golems. I did not put in Sphere mode because Invoked rarely summons 3 monsters, but 2 monsters is very likely, right? Yeah, so I got my Lava Golems. I got Broken Lines. I put in my 3rd D Barrier, right? What else did I side in? Yeah, so fairly standard side in. But anyway, Heavy Storm Duster is very good against Invoked. But anyway, so he's gonna go first, of course, because you always want to go first. So all right, so let's get into it. So he uses Prosperity, right? And check this out. This is gonna be funny. So the 3 cards he reveals off Prosperity are Lightning Storm, Prosperity, and Droplet, right? So I find it hilarious that he sided in Lightning Storm while choosing to go first, right? For those of you who don't know, and he must not know, Lightning Storm says if you control no face-up cards, activate one of these effects. So if he's going first, the assumption is he's going to set up a board. If he sets a board, his Lightning Storm's going to be dead in his hand, right? So why would you side in Lightning Storm going first against Eldlich? It doesn't make sense. If you're going to side in Lightning Storm, you should choose to go second. Anyway. So he's going to take the Lightning Storm, which is a surprise to me, right? And then what's he going to do? He's going to normal Ecclesia, grab Punishment, and that's it. So he's baiting me to take out his Ecclesia so he can Lightning Storm me, right? And then he's going to set his back row, including Dogmatika Punishment. So I'm not going to take the bait. I'm going to let this Ecclesia stay on the field so he cannot Lightning Storm. And instead, I'm just going to set my cards, right? So obviously I only need 1 Elixir, so I'm going to set 1 Elixir, the Witch's Strike, and the Heavy Storm Duster, right? So because I know he has Punishment, so two things I'm thinking. He knows I know he has Punishment, and he likely has one other card, maybe Meltdown, maybe Schism, whatever. Heavy Storm Duster will take those out. Witch's Strike. All right, if he doesn't, what if he's holding Punishment so that he can discard it as a cost for Mechaba to negate one of my traps, right? In that case, I can on a new chain activate Witch's Strike, blow out his field and hand, right? So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. So I'm just going to set these 3 cards and pass. Alright, so he goes on battle phase, potential attack. Elixir, by the way, the Eldlich I summon off this, defense mode. Because if it goes in attack mode, he crashes into it with Ecclesia, and then he Lightning Storms on main phase too. So very important that this goes in defense mode. Alright, so he summons he normals Ghost Ogre and goes into Crystron Halq Fibrax, grabs the Death Spot. Goes for the Barone play. Barone pops Witch's Strike, and then Aurodon's gonna pop my Heavy Storm Duster. Yeah, so unfortunately I lose the Heavy Storm Duster, so I'm not able to take out his 2 back row, but I know for a fact that one of his back row is Dogmatika Punishment, 100%. I know this, right? Why is that important? Because he's only going to use it if he knows he can take out 2 of my cards, right? Because he has Entis, right? If he uses it to take out 1 of my cards, I've won the trade because he's locked. Not only is he trading 1 for 1, but he's locking himself out of his extra deck. So in his view, Dogmatika Punishment is only worth it if he can take out 2 cards. So ideally, he wants to take out my Eldlich plus 1 of my set cards. That's what he would like to do, right? So I'm not going to let him do that. I'm going to play around the fact that I know he has Punishment, right? So check this out. So first, I'm going to use Eldlich to send to the graveyard from hand with Elixir to try to take out Barone. This forces him to use his Barone negate, otherwise he's screwed, right? So now I'm going to use Elixir to set Waquero, and then this, I'm going to go ahead and summon this, right, in 3,500. So now I'm going to go to battle and try to run over his Barone, and look what he has here. He has Rush Recklessly. So he... Actually, it's worse than Rush Recklessly, because Rush Recklessly does not require you to discard a card. So he's going to go ahead and cut my Eldlich's attack down, and then Eldlich is going to die to Barone. Alright, so then what happens now? So I'm actually going to crash my second Eldlich into Barone. Remember, I know he has Punishment. If I leave this Eldlich on the field, it's going to be destroyed anyway, right? 100%, if I leave this Eldlich on the field, he's going to punishment. Because he'll have Barone, and then with Entis, he'll be able to pop 2 cards. So I'll say, alright, if I'm going to lose this Eldlich anyway, I'd rather you not be able to punishment and get a second card. So I crash my Eldlich, right? Kill itself for 500 life points. Main phase 2, I set punishment, and now I can set Elixir, right? Yeah, as long as he cannot punishment me, I can go through. So he's going to attempt to pop punishment, and I'm going to immediately chain punishment. And I'm going to send Zeus because, you know, I seldom Zeus anyway, just to get rid of his drone. So end phase, I'm going to go ahead and use Elixir to grab Conk. And then on my turn, I'm going to use Eldlich to send the Elixir to summon itself. Oh, but he actually Ghost Bells, which is hilarious, because Ghost Bell is, like, one of the few things that temporarily slows down Eldlich. It's like, oh great, you actually have this card like for that one interaction. Like it's stupid. It's a stupid card. So yeah, but anyway, I have D-Berry and Conk, and let's see what he has. He has Cosmic Cyclone and Ash. Oh man, Ash completely useless. So against Eldlich, like once both Eldliches are in the graveyard in rotation, Ash is just a brick, right? And then he has Cosmic Cyclone, which is a pretty good card, but you know, he has to pick his target wisely, right? Like, if he prematurely Cosmics, I just chain D-Berry or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. So, what are his face downs? Oh, he has another Cosmic and a punishment. So, I know he has a punishment. That's obvious, right? So, he's going to go to end phase. I'm going to go ahead and set Huaquero. And then I'm going to attempt again to get my Eldlich, swing for 3,500. Now, again, because my Eldlich is 3,500, he cannot Dogmatika Punishment, right? Because, well, he can, but he would have to send something at 3,500 or higher, which I'm pretty sure Invoked players do not have. So basically, he needs my Eldlich to go to 2,500 so he can pop it with Entis, right? That's what he wants to happen. So I'm aware of this, so I'm just going to swing for 35. He's going to go ahead and use the Ecclesia. Fleur de Lis. Again, Fleur de Lis is a brick if there are no extra deck monsters. So then I go back to 2,500. He does not immediately punishment me, right? I guess he doesn't want to lock himself out of the extra deck, is my guess. So I'm going to attempt to conk and pop this Ecclesia. Arguably, I should have conked in the end phase. So that's probably a mistake of mine. I should have conked on his end phase. But it doesn't matter because he has Cosmic Cyclone anyway. So, alright, whatever. So I'm just going to run over his Ecclesia. Right? Alright, so at this point, I'm okay with playing into his punishment. Alright, so obviously Eldlich is 2,500 because I have 3 back row. I have Skill Drain, I have Central Tribute, I have D-Barrier. If he takes out my Eldlich and one of these 3, I still have the other 2, which are perfectly playable, right? And by using punishment, he would be locking himself out of his extra deck for a whole turn, possibly 2 turns if he uses it on his turn, right? So yeah, I'm saying, alright, you want to punishment me? Go ahead. You can now punishment me, right? So he's actually going to Deer Servant, which I think is hilarious. And he's actually going to send Entis. So he locks himself out of his extra deck, and I'm pretty sure most Invoke players nowadays only play like 1 Entis anyway. So he's going to go ahead and try to pop one of my back row. He pops Skill Drain. Okay, don't really need that. Because again, I have D-Bear and I have Central Tribute. And all he has in hand is Fleur de Lis, Ecclesia, and probably a brick. I don't like it's an Ash, but like I don't know it's an Ash, right? Like he has nothing, right? So he's gonna set Ecclesia. I'm just gonna attack it. So why did I not summon my other Eldlich from the graveyard? The reason I didn't do that is as follows. First of all, I like my back row. I don't. So to summon Eldlich back, I need a second. I need a I need to pay a back row, right? Now, if I had done that, I would have had the damage to finish him this turn, but I'm sort of playing around Call by the Grave. Like, if he calls by the Graves me, that Eldlich, like, not only will I have paid the cost, but that Eldlich will get banished, and that's no good, right? Like, so I'm kind of playing around Call by the Grave, and you might think, oh, but Call by the Grave is a one-of. Yeah, but I've been in too many games where, like, I did not play around Call by the Grave, and then I lose out 2 cards, right? And then, like, yeah, so I'm just playing it safe here and thinking, all right, I'm just going to keep swinging until, like, he's dead, right? Or until I'm certain that he does not have Call by the Grave or something. Like, I have plenty of back row. There's no rush. I'm just going to attack here. Now he's going to punishment. Also, since he... Oh, there's another thing. Because I knew he still had punishment, if I did summon my Eldlich from the graveyard, I would not be able to end the game anyway because he would just punishment my 2500 Eldlich. So either way, I was not going to OTK him that turn. So I got his punishment out. He sent Omega. That's fine. And yep. So fast forward. So now I am going to play, I need an Eldlich on the field. So, if he has Call by the Grave, he has it. At this point, I've played around it enough. I have Solemn Strike just in case he tries to use Omega to bounce my other Eldlich to my deck, right? So he's going to go ahead and set a card, a monster. I'm going to go ahead and attack it. Well, no, I'm going to revive my Eldlich, attack this. So he's going to droplet. And then because of Rush Recklessly, I'm not going to be able to run over this Aleister. And actually, because Aleister's flipping face up, he's going to be able to search Invocation. However, what he doesn't know, which I'm going to activate right now, is I have Solemn Strike. So I'm actually going to say, yeah, no on Aleister, and Aleister's destroyed, and now I can finish him off. So, yeah. So yeah, anyway, moral of the story, Invoked suck. Invoked decks suck. If you're still playing Invoked, stop playing Invoked. It's like, not only is it bad in like against most of the meta decks in the format, but I don't even think it can beat Rogue anymore. Like I don't know. I just think like I feel like not being able to adequately play the adventure package just makes Invoked so weak in the current format. After you lose a Fusion Destiny, after you lost a Nadir Servant, and by the way, next ban list, you're gonna lose another Nadir Servant and another Fusion Destiny. Both of them are going to 1. You heard it here first. Like, yeah, I don't know why people still insist on playing Invoked. It's like it's just not good anymore. Like, I think you'd be better off playing Dinos honestly than Invoked in this current format, because Dinos, like, they have Misk that can just make all their Dinos unaffected by card effects, right? So, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Invoke sucks. Normal Summon Aleister overrated. And even if he did this Invocation, if let's say I did not have Solemn Strike, I had D-Barrier, baby. Like, he plays an Invocation, it fizzles. It's not gonna do shit, right? There's no scenario where he actually wins this game. And worst case scenario, he brings out Mecha by DP. I have a Lava Golem, so yeah, he's completely screwed. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Eldlich is definitely underrated, and Invoked is highly overrated. And the sad part, like this isn't even like a random. This is like this match here was part of an online tournament that I'm participating in. Same with my previous matchup, but I still see Invoked decks in my real life tournaments, and I don't understand why. It's like it's not good anymore, but whatever. Yep. So that was the matchup. Uh, Unfortunately, did not get to resolve Witch's Strike this time, but it doesn't even matter because Witch's Strike, again, it's just like an auto win, like cherry on top. You don't need it. It's not your only win condition, right? You have many win conditions in this deck, and yeah, we showed him that yeah, normal summon Aleister just doesn't work around these parts anymore. So hopefully he'll take that to heart and play a deck that doesn't suck. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and see you on the next video. Peace.